Hello everyone, this is Mr. Downson. Today let's talk about number bases. So when we talk about number bases, it can be a little bit confusing. But if we understand our place value system, we'll see that number bases is actually very easy. So let's understand what the place value system is. It is just generally how we count. Okay, so we can decide to count by grouping in 10. So if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I make two fives, I'm going to get 10. So let me just take a shortcut. So I have two fives here. Okay, so I'm going to organize everything. Now you can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they are single items in 10 places, right? Now I can group all of them to form just one group of 10. Okay, so this is 10 groups of 1, one group of 10, 10 groups of 1, one group of 10, 10 groups of 1s, one group of 10, one group of 10. So 10 groups of 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, okay? Or just say 10 ones, then 1, 10, 10 ones, 1, 10, okay? The two words look like they are similar, but they are not. Okay, it's just English language. This is 10 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And they are ones, ones, ones. There are 10 of them. Right? Very good. So, whereas this one is 1, 10. You can see it's just only one copy like this. So, don't confuse the both of them. 10 ones, 1, 10. 10 ones, 1, 10. Okay, so now that we've established that, we can also count in twos. For example, so let's say we are counting in twos. So this is now one group of 2, one group of 2, two groups of 1s, one groups of 2s, two groups of 1s, one group of 2s. So in this base now we are counting, a group is made up of 2. A group is made up of 2. Okay, so this is called base 2 because we are counting, we are grouping when we get to 2. We group when we get to 2, right? Good. So now you're going to see that this one now, we can break it down to 10 groups of 10s, one group of 100. 10 groups of 10, you can see that we are breaking it into 10 groups. Groups is 10 of 10s. And inside that 10 groups of 10, we can still break it into another 10 groups again. Okay? So you can see it. So we now have 10 groups of 10 groups of 1s. So this is 10 groups of 10 groups. Sorry. Let me shift this a little bit. 10 groups, 10 groups, sorry, 10 groups as big as they are of 10 groups of 1s. Okay, so there are 10 of these groups, and each group contains 10 of 1s. Okay, so that's the difference here. So 10 groups of 10 groups of 1s. Okay, so now remember this one we are counting in what? We're counting in tens, right? But we can also do the same thing to count in twos. So in this place, we can have two groups of two groups of ones. So you can see this is two groups, and each of them is made of two groups, and we have ones. Two groups of two groups of ones. Okay, so basically two groups. So we have two groups of two groups of ones. Okay, very good. So we can also do that in other bases. So in this case, we are always counting in 2. Okay, we can even make it a little bit higher. Okay, and we can say this is what? Two groups of what? Two groups of two groups of ones. Now, if we don't want to count in ones, probably we want to count in fours, we can say two groups of fours, two groups of fours, or we can say two groups of two groups of twos. So depending on what level we want to get to. So this is what we call number basis. So in this case now, we are counting in twos and we call that binary. Now let's say we want to do, what would be 10 if we are counting in groups of twos, right? So in this case, I'm just going to bring out our balance scale. So let's try to get our balance scale. Balance scale. So this is our balance scale. Okay, let me expand it a little bit. Now, if I put 10 here, right, what groups would I put to match it? And we have to think, right? Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try two groups of twos. You can see this one did not match it. So I'm going to get an extra two group like this. And let's put it, and let's see if it's going to balance. You can see it has balanced. So why is it that this is now equals to this? Well, let's think about it. If I bring this out and I bring this out, let's see if they will both count up to 10. So if I break this down into ones, so I'll just split it. You can see we have 10 ones here, right? And I break this into two groups of ones. So split two groups of two groups of two groups of ones. Okay, and I break this up. So how many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I break this up. You can see we now have everything should add up to 8 plus 2 should add up to 10. So you can see. So that means this is also 10. So invariably, everything that we have here is 10 on both sides. But we are counting and grouping differently. Okay, so that's what number bases are. You counting and grouping in a different way.